In Genesis chapter 5, we have a hidden messianic prophecy that is without a doubt pointing and describing Jesus, the Messiah, and the life that he should live, and his death. And in Genesis 5, it says the first 10 descendants of Adam, and it names them all in order. And it says Adam, Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah. That's the first 10. Now, I'm just going to tell you in order what their names mean, and you can look this up yourself, and we're going to see a hidden prophecy. Adam means man, second in the genealogy. Seth means appointed. Enosh means mortal. Kenan means sorrow. Mahalalel means the blessed God. Yared or Jared means shall come down. Enoch means teaching or the teacher. Methuselah means, check this out, his death shall bring. You're following it now.
Oh, yeah.
You can look it up later. But Lamech means despairing or hopeless. And Noah means comfort or rest. Okay? I'm just going to now read, instead of their names, I'm going to read the Hebrew meanings of their names. The first 10 people in the genealogy of mankind and of Christ. Luke talks about the genealogy of Jesus, says this too. Here's what that would say. Man is appointed to mortal sorrow, but the blessed God shall come down and teach us. His death shall bring those in despair comfort and rest.
I love it.
This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No, I'm not under oath. But have you ever wondered why we take oaths in that way? Well, apparently, Western historians just aren't sure. Want to know why? Racism. So let's get into it. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Ilyan. I wrote a master's on alchemy and Jungian dream analysis, a PhD on Palestinian political identity and music, and I'm a writer, teacher, tarot reader, and shapeshifter. Meow. The practice of sworn testimony or taking an oath goes back thousands of years to ancient cultures and civilizations and secret societies. But this particular testimony, this triple affirmation, doesn't appear in English courts till about the 1200s. And Western historians generally like to loosely connect this to the 10th century King Athelstan, an Anglo-Saxon king who codified Britain's laws in the 900s. But between the 900s and the 1200s, something very interesting was happening in Europe. Islam was spreading. And with it, Arabic numerals, math, astronomy, chemistry, and most importantly, the practice that started it all, Arabic alchemy, except they would just call it alchemy. And one text that totally captured almost every intellectual Englishman's imagination at the time was the Emerald Tablet. And funny enough, before teaching us that the above is of the below and the below is of the above, the central axiom of alchemy, the tablet's first line is this triple affirmation of truth. And the tablet's last line, after laying out very poetically and briefly the processes of this truth, is a sign-off from the tablet's author. هذا فخري ولذلك سميت هرمس المثلث بالحكمة. This is my pride, and why they call me Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes thrice great, Hermes of triple wisdom. And listen, Europe was extremely influenced by Arab magic and science, a lot more than they let on, a lot more than the history books will tell you. Europe would still be in its IVIXXLM era if it weren't for the spread of Islam. And during the 11th and 12th centuries specifically, there were a lot of translations happening in Andalusia, because the Arabs had already had their era of translation in Baghdad, where they had preserved and translated as faithfully as possible all of these ancient Greek and Egyptian and Indian and Chinese texts, just stuff from all over the world, to create what was called the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. The second movement of translation in the Arab empires happened in Al-Andalus, or Islamic Spain. Al-Andalus also became a safe haven for Jewish mystics and scholars in Europe. And as George Galloway likes to remind us, when the Muslims left Europe, the Jews left with them. Just some things to think about. What are some other elements in Western culture that we just can't seem to find the origins of? And if you want to learn more about alchemy from the individual to the collective, hit the follow button and go check out the thing in my thing. Okay, love you, bye.
The abomination of desolation is the image of the beast. The beast from the sea is Satan's kingdom on the earth. Satan is the god of this world and reigns on earth through the emperors. This is why the Old Testament prophecies address Satan as the king of Tyre or the king of Babylon. Because in their day, the king of Tyre was the image of the beast, the man that represented the kingdom. In his day, the king of Babylon was the image of the beast, the man that represented the empire. Satan reigning on earth through its kings. I have explained in great detail how history does repeat the story of the Revelation over and over from the micro to the macro, so that Antiochus Epiphanes was the image of the beast in his day. Nero was the image of the beast in his day. The man that represented Satan in Satan's kingdoms on the earth. All this talk of one world government is Satan trying to take over the whole world, bruh. Satan is a spirit. He doesn't have an image on the earth. He doesn't have a body, and so he reigns through the kings and the emperors to have representation here. And all this talk about his image, look, you need an image if you're gonna rule the world. The image is what's gonna rule the world. What are we talking about? Well, when we're talking about the beast from the sea, we're talking about the spirit of Antichrist needs an image to rule the world in. That's why John said the spirit of Antichrist is already in the world. Everybody who doesn't believe in Jesus, bruh, is working for the devil by default. Because they've never been born again in the spirit, they are only alive in the flesh, and the devil is the king of this, you see? The god of this is the devil because he is the god of this world, and this is of the world. Meaning the children of the flesh worship Satan as God instead of God because they're not alive in the spirit to even know him at all. When we say Antichrist, we don't just mean he's against Jesus. He's against Jesus because he wants to be Jesus, and so he tries. Why? Well, Jesus is the image of the invisible God. Wait, the image of God is King of Kings and Lord of Lords on the earth. Satan says to himself, I'm a god. If I get an image down there, I can reign on earth. Because an image means a body for the spirit to dwell in and operate through. And that's God himself's business, to manifest in the flesh. But Satan's kingdom killed Jesus when he manifested in the flesh, and he went to hell, like men do. But Jesus had the keys. He made the doors. He made hell. He made everything above hell, and then everything above that, and then everything above that, and everything that was made. So the gates of hell could not prevail against his kingdom. He walked right out of there and took folk with him. And then he rose from the dead, and so did those folk he grabbed. And then he ascended into heaven, and the important thing to know here is, woo, he's gone. And he didn't reign on earth. He didn't take over. Dodged a bullet. The devil thinks, because he don't know how this actually works. He ain't seen it done yet in real life. Like the whole part about Jesus coming back, the angels can only imagine what that's going to look like. It hasn't happened yet. It might be written down. They might know the plan and this, that, and the other, but they have never seen this done. They don't know what it looks like or how to do it. But they did see God manifest in the flesh in his image on the earth. They saw that part. The angels saw that part. And the devil is going to get thrown down to the earth and forced to try. Now, in times past, the Spirit of God would fall upon men and God would operate through men. And in that same times past, the spirit of Satan would possess men and he would operate through those men. But God didn't have his own body to walk around in those times. Until Jesus was born. Now he's got his own body designed for him, by him, to walk around it. And Satan is busy on earth concocting that same scenario, working out that same formula, so that he can have a body to walk around in down here. Not the king of Tyre, not the king of Babylon, not the Pharaoh's body. His own. Like Daddy did. My own body like Daddy had. And when he gets that body made, when the image of the beast is ready for him to indwell, God's gonna say, oh yeah, you made that bed. Lay down in it. And when Satan finds out he can no longer go back to heaven to accuse the brethren before the throne of God, I thought the devil was in hell. You thought wrong. He has never been. You see, those Old Testament prophecies that call him the king of Tyre and the king of Babylon, compare him also to the angels that quit heaven to come down to be gods on the earth and dwell in images and mate with women. They all got bound in chains and thrown in hell when the world got flooded, and God compares Satan to them. This is what's going to happen to you. As the days of Noah were when angels fell from heaven, so shall it be when the Son of Man returns. Angels once more are going to fall from heaven, Satan and a third of them. A different group than the angels that fell in the days of Noah, but same story repeated. Same story, history repeats. And on that note, as history repeats, it perfects and advances. And it takes a whole age for the story to actually run on the macro. The first age, the story started and ran from the time of the Garden of Eden all the way through to the flood, and then it started over in a new age after Noah got off the boat. The age ended and a new age began. The story started over. That ran through to the Exodus. That age ended. The story culminated in the Exodus. That's why you can overlay the Revelation right over top of the Exodus, and it's the exact same story. Same plagues with the trumpets and all that, same stuff. Same chronology, same timeline. You want to know when the rapture is? It's at the seventh trumpet. They had to paint the blood of the lamb on their doorposts, remember? They were still in Egypt while it was all going real bad, remember? Anyway, that second age ended in a literal battle of Armageddon. Egypt had to fight in the Valley of Megiddo right after the Exodus. Same chronology, literally. Recorded by the Egyptians themselves. They added a new god to their pantheon. Amun-Ra is the god of Moses in Egypt, being recognized by Egypt. So after the Exodus, the third age began. The Hebrews went into the land of Canaan. That third age ended just like this story said it would, with Jesus being born on the earth, and a literal Armageddon. The Romans coming to throw down Jerusalem in a flood of bodies. The third age also ended in a flood of bodies. Now we are in the fourth age. This story is running bigger and better than it ever has before. There have been many antichrists in this age. Schmidt was one of them. But the Antichrist is on his way. The abomination of desolation is Satan himself, indwelling an image that he commanded men to make for him with their own hands.
Something like this right here.
Satan and 1/3 of the angels of heaven are coming down to the earth. Way more than came down in the days of Noah. And he's going to command men to build him a body, and men will worship him as God incarnate on the earth. No, we are not there yet. This is history repeating in the micro. It ain't even going to look like this. This right here is primitive. Our technology is about to advance about 20 million years into the future without us. Unless somehow you're joined to it literally. And now we're talking about the mark of the beast. The singularity. Think of the Borg from Star Trek. We are one will take on a whole new meaning. We are legion will take on a whole new meaning. But the mark of the beast doesn't come until after the image of the beast comes. And whoever doesn't bow down to the image of the beast is killed. A multitude from every nation, creed, and tongue are killed for not bowing down to the image. The abomination that causes desolation. What desolation? A multitude from every nation, creed, and tongue. The image of the beast is the abomination that causes that desolation. And the desolation that will follow as a result of that heinous crime. That's what gets Babylon thrown down. Babylon, spiritually called Sodom in Egypt, where the prophets were slain, and also our Lord was crucified. The image of the beast is Satan's attempt to be Jesus on the earth. But he's going to try to get it all done at once. He doesn't understand. Ye must be born again. Satan loses his morning star, his heavenly angelic body, at the sixth seal of the Revelation in the future, and he gets thrown down to his earthly image. Ye must be born again goes backwards for the devil because of his ambitions. All who fear God's name, small and great, started off as flesh and blood dirt from the earth, but will be born again as spirits from heaven in the first resurrection, a massive upgrade. Whereas Satan was born as that and is going to end up as this stuff made of the earth down here. However, this is made of the earth. It don't matter what you made it from. And so what hope of salvation could there be? Bible clearly says, those who were once partakers and have clearly tasted of the heavenly gifts, if they should fall away, it is impossible to renew them to repentance. They already knew the story. We're waiting to find out in faith. Trusting God and doing his instructions and what he commanded us to do in faith. Of what that's going to be, we've never seen it. But being born into it and being partakers of it, and then you're going to fall away from that to come do this down here, that's the wrong direction. You see, Jesus was God on the throne in heaven, and he humbled himself. He took upon himself the form of a servant, was made in the likeness of men, became obedient to his own law that he wrote for men, all the way to the cross. The flesh showing perfect submission to the spirit. The devil ain't going to do that when he comes down here. He's going to try to be God. Jesus was God, didn't try to be God while he was a man, because God ain't a man. And if Satan wants to be God, being a man ain't going to get it, though he will try.
Look at this ring here. Oh, this is how a bottle gourd is made. A ring is put when it's still growing. Oh, this one is fantastic. But now the plant will really suffer. Oh, it looks beautiful. But imagine now the part of the plant that underwent that. You see? Look at this creature here, underwater, that is growing. My God, it has lots of teeth. This one can lure a fish to enter there.
I know you scientists want to do it, but one of y'all better not open that dang box. We're not doing 2020 again. No, sir. No.
Guys, I'm here in 1956. As you can tell behind me, I'm at McDonald's, guys. How do you deny this proof? Let me show you something. This is gonna blow your freaking mind. How do you even begin to deny this proof, guys? I'm literally here. This is McDonald's. Look at those beautiful McDonald's, guys. You cannot deny. I'm gonna show you. Let me show you something else. This is really gonna blow your mind. I'm not even gonna lie. That guy bought me a cheeseburger. That's where people sit and eat. I mean, guys, how do you deny this proof? McDonald's here in Utah, 1956. I'm gonna go get this some dessert now.
Entertaining my family with things I have at home. We made a foil tunnel and added a marble, sealed it up and shook it in a container to make DIY jumping beans.
What if I told you I've got the footage of the land behind the wall? What if I tell you I've got the footage of the ice wall, and inside the ice wall and behind the ice wall? Yeah, you heard me right. This is the ice wall. This is what Germany in 50s was trying to find, and most probably they have. They are behind the ice wall. Ice wall exists, it's real. You'll see in a second. It's just coming out the tunnel. Look at this. Look at it. This is real. This is real. They can't hide this from us anymore. It's out there. You know it. It's in your face. Welcome to Earth.
Scary real footages found of strange creatures. Now this one is a very strange creature. My God, is this a real creature? What creature could this be? English people, do you know of this one? Look like it also feeds on fish. This is very crazy. Is this one found in Australia or where? Oh. And another strange creature. Octopus. English people, I thought octopuses were normal to you guys after what we have been seeing in different episodes, but I'm surprised. Look at this snail here. My God, is this a bird snail or a snail with a beak? What is this? How is this possible? My God, it's bizarre stuff. Oh, and another gigantic sea animal was seen in another place. My God, that one is extremely big. Extremely big. Oh, and the Pikachu, real life Pokemon. Which creature is this? English people, is this a real one? Or is CGI?
Celebrity age guess.
42. 21.
She's 20.
Oh, really? 48.
41.
26. Well, I'm totally off.
Who's that guy?
I met Morgan Freeman once. Come here. At the time I met him, I was around 19 years old. I was still in college. And he also thought that I was in my 40s and paying a mortgage. And when I told him, no, I'm still in college, he tapped my shoulder and he said, "Don't worry about it. you'll always be 40. And then I said, what does that mean, Morgan Freeman? And then he said, by your 20s and your 30s, people are going to think you look 40. That's fine. But then he said, by the time you're in your 50s and your 60s, you're still going to look 40. So he's like, don't worry. You have your 50s and your 60s to look forward to. He said, I hope that makes you feel better. And then I said, I still don't know what that means, Morgan Freeman. And then he looked at me and said, eat a lot of blueberries, and walked away. And at first I thought that was confusing, until now when I'm realizing everybody basically thinks I'm in my 40s. So he was right. And also I looked it up. Blueberries actually help keep your skin clear. So I'm not gonna lie to you. He was extremely wise. And I think everything now makes sense at the moment. So I mean, hopefully in my 50s and my 60s, I guess I still look 40, I guess. I don't know. There's a lesson here, I guess.
Can a doctor please explain how a woman becomes a man, then gets pregnant, then complains about it to a doctor of her choice? Check this out.
I recently transitioned to being a guy. That doctor said I was pregnant. I'm obviously a guy, so I'm going to a second doctor now to get a second opinion.
You are 6 weeks pregnant.
Not possible, I'm a man.
Before you became Dylan, you must have been Tasha. And Tasha must have been having relations, become pregnant.
She did, and then I became a man.
You're going to have to jump back in a position as a woman and become a mother.
How is a man pregnant? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, technically, you're not a man.
I am a man.
I'm sorry to inform you, you have woman body parts, and you can give birth.
How would I look walking around as a pregnant man?
Go back over to Tasha then.
When a PP goes inside a VV, ladies and gentlemen, you get pregnant. That is biologically a fact. This has to be fake. Let us know what you think below, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be
These people, that previous video you mean is real stuff. Hey? Anyway, look at this mom and the dog.
This is a CMY cube, and it's not blue, and it's not magenta, and it's not yellow. It's actually everything. So next time you're having an argument with someone, remember, you could be talking about the same thing, just from a different perspective.
I seen another video on TikTok saying a flake couldn't melt. So let's try pour molten metal over one. Before you see the results, do you think it will melt? This is heated to around 400 C. I'll leave it a minute, then flip it over and see the results. Wow, it didn't melt. To get the chocolate out, I'll have to remelt the metal. Even being blowtorched, it's not melting, only burning. Thanks for watching. Let me know what I should try next.
Hi, look what I made for you. A little pillow.
It's a Georgie pillow.
Oh my god.
mysterious 12,000-year-old skull with electronic microchip implanted. In a 347 kilometers long cave deep underwater, researchers have discovered a mysterious skull implanted with electronic microchips like in a sci-fi movie. This location is located in Mexico. The team led by Guillermo, he said, this huge cave consists of 250 pits, formed naturally, and contains 198 ruins, of which 140 ruins belong to the Mayans. The researchers found a human skull lying in limestone, inside with a metal plate. Mexican journalist, Pedro Sanchez said, he received confidential information from a supplier. This skull is actually implanted with an artificial device. At first the researchers thought it was just a regular metal plate embedded in the brain, but after further research, it's something completely different. The researchers decided to avoid talking about it, because the technology of the time was not in line with our understanding. According to Sanchez, this is a microchip that was implanted 12,000 years ago. Because the case is top secret, until now no one knows why the electronic chip was implanted in the head of the Mayans
my
in such
God,
ancient
my
times.
friends, thanks for watching all this way. Lot of crazy, mysterious, unthinkable, unbelievable stuff that you have come across. Which, my friend, it will be great and good vibes if you left behind some comment for us. You see, because who knows? Maybe in the next or next episode, we might be going through the comments and yours might be the one starting. So I really encourage you, leave some and hit the like button. And now, for those that might have clicked today and don't know who I am, probably wondering, I've been Y311H, you see? And I really love you all, my friends. And because for the love that I have for you, I would really like to share something that I have here with you, so that we can at least all feel nice. You see, sharing is caring. Loving your neighbor like you love yourself is what we always preach. Listen, Lord, you have been our dwelling place throughout all generations. Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting and God. Wow. You turn men back to dust, saying, return to dust, O sons of men. For 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night. Wonderful. That is from Psalms 90. Good vibes words there, my friend. God is great all the time, and He can surely do great things in your life. Let's give thanks to God and acknowledge Him. You see? Dear Lord Father, our Creator, our Maker, and our Redeemer, we give thanks to you, Father, for the gift and the breath of life in us, Father. All glory and honor belong to you, Father. Thank you very much for this wonderful soul of yours that has watched all this way, Father. Bless them abundantly, Father. Intervene in their lives, Father. Reveal yourself to them, Father. Uplift them, Father, beyond the limits they could have thought, Father. Make them a beacon of your light and love, Father, from wherever they are. Always be with us and fill us with your spirit. Improve and bless our channel, Father, so that it can reach all the people in this world. In Jesus' mighty name, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. My friend, God bless you and be with you till next time. Peace and love, good vibes, people. Bye-bye. Much love.